Okay. We're going to be starting a new series on this account. I'm going to be predicting every NBA team's results for the 2026 to 2027 season, starting off with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, this is a very interesting team to start off because this is a team coming off a 3-1 comeback against the Celtics, who won a championship 2 years ago. And they added the Celtics' second best player, maybe best, in Jaylen Brown, and only had to give up Paul George on the current roster. Now, in that series, Embiid did miss a few games, which made Maxey, turn into the superstar that we know he is, and Paul George step up, which obviously now they lost Paul George, but they added Jaylen Brown for it. I think that if you're a 76ers fan, you are fine with that. That is a fine upgrade at the position. However, we also know that the 76ers got swept by the Knicks in 4 games, in the playoffs after coming back against the Celtics. So they do have a lot of room to improve. However, I think that this trade does get a lot of that room out of the way. I mean, just looking at that starting lineup, you got Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, Wade, who was another amazing addition. And if he can stay healthy, Embiid is one of the best players in the league. They got Villon off the bench. They got, guys like Porty off the bench. It is a deep bench now. And do not forget that they are still in the sweepstakes for LeBron. Imagine adding him to that lineup instead of Dean Wade. Dean Wade comes off the bench. That is a very scary starting 5. However, even though this team has a lot of star power, they do not have chemistry. We saw what happened against the Knicks. I still think that the Knicks are the better team right now. I think that teams like the Celtics are still better, even if they lost the trade. Teams like Cleveland are better. Fuck it, even the Raptors. They added Kawhi with Scotty. That is a very scary team. Colin Murray Boyles. I'll go more into depth in that video. But I just don't see this team competing, especially with how they played against the Knicks last year. In my opinion, they are a top 5 team in the East for sure. They were last year without Brown. But I still do not see them being title contenders. I see them making the second round at the max. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to have to play amazing, and Embiid's going to have to stay healthy. However, my final prediction for them is that they are second round exits at their cap.